Salute my peoples. Y'all already know what it is, man. Boxing for Breakfast kicks off in 9 minutes. We're going to be talking about Tank Davis, still in the lamb, still on the run. And Andy Cruz, y'all. Is he going to be the guy running the 135 division? We're going to get at it, y'all. See y'all in a few minutes. My peoples, I'm on the way. The show kicks off in a couple of minutes. I got you. My peoples, my peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. We talking boxing. Y'all know how we do it. Happy Wednesday to everybody. It's a beautiful morning. Listen, if you woke up, if you got your ass out your bed, it's a beautiful morning, my peoples. Come on now. Salute to everybody already tuning in on Lace, Supreme Green Lawn Care, LLC. That lawn care gotta be swift. With that name like that, I know when you handle the lawn, that should be nice. Wally Amam, my G, what's the deal? What up, Jay? I'm in the building. As you always is, supporting, showing love, and talking boxing. As a boxing fan, we're losing one of the greats in his prime. If he never boxes again, and that hurts to say, damn, bro, that's tough. That's tough, bro. Hakeem, salute family, bam. Al Booger, 310, Toy Mafia, underrated Will, Side. What's the deal, my people? Listen. Right now, what's going on with Tank Davis is crazy. That's going to be the first topic of conversation on Lace. My G. That's going to be the first topic of conversation this morning because, damn, bro, Tank Davis still on the run? They still got a warrant out for his arrest? How do you think this shit is going to end? You think when you go on the run from law enforcement, you could win? Think about that. Motherfucking Osama bin Laden couldn't escape in remote caves of Afghanistan. He got. So they went and got Maduro, the Venezuelan president, over there in his palace. Got him. So what I'm trying to say, man, you don't escape law enforcement. It's just a matter of time before they get you. If they want you, they're gonna get you. So I don't even understand why Tank Davis, a guy who has money, who has resources, who has access to top-notch lawyers, is running. But honestly, I'm worried because number one, and I'm gonna say this, we're all boxing fans. Damn, I got soap all in my shit. We're all boxing fans, and we all want to see Tank Davis in the ring. We all want to see him do what he does. But ultimately, this is real life shit going on over here. This is, remember, my peoples, boxing is a sport. Boxing is the sweet science that we all love. and we get entertained by. But ultimately, real life shit supersedes entertainment, supersedes sports. Tank dealing with some real life shit, so I know right now boxing has got to be the last thing in his mind. So I'm worried about Tank's personal life and how this whole thing is gonna play out. And I'm hoping that he can get past this. And then I'm also sad because we don't even know if or when we're gonna see Tank Davis in the ring again. By the way, my peoples, enjoy your breakfast if you having it. I'm fucking with this Raisin Bran right now. I just went and did a little 6 miles, got my workout in. I'm not trying to stuff myself with bacon and eggs and plátanos. None of that. We going light, my peoples. So, I'm just trying to figure out what's in Tank Davis' mind. What is he trying to do right now? What is he going to do? Is he really just gonna hide until they catch him? Because I gotta tell you, my peoples, when you got a warrant out for your arrest and they have to catch you running, you pretty much eliminated all possibilities of getting bail because you already showed that you're gonna run. Now, maybe with, the lawyers and the money that you're gonna move around and the resources, maybe he could get home confinement where, with a monitor, with a bracelet, with all type of GPS tracking technology on his ass. Maybe they'll be able to get him that. But I even doubt it. I doubt it, my peoples. When they catch you running, bail is usually out of the question. And I told you guys this before. With the type of money Tank Davis got and the type of lawyers that he worked with, when they said we got a warrant out for Tank Davis, he should have turned himself in that same day. Why? Because you would have turned yourself in, your lawyers would have bailed your ass out. In less than 24 hours, he wouldn't even slept in a cell. And then that's it. Let your high-powered attorneys do their job. That's what they get paid the big bucks for. Let them do what they got to do. But once you go on the run, that's it. All bets are off. What you think your lawyer got to say when they go in front of a judge and you're not there? What you think they got to say? I don't know where my client is at. You know how goofy a lawyer looks? Looking at a judge's face? Nah, Your Honor, I don't know where my client is at. I can't tell you. No, your client got to be here for this date. We're going to try to reach out to him, Your Honor. Looking dumb as hell. So, your lawyers, they can help you, but they can't do shit for you while you're running. There ain't nothing that your lawyers could do. The judge ain't even gonna hear. Nothing. All the judge, the prosecutor, everybody know is that you're running. So if they catch you running, if they catch you hiding in some hotel, in some residence, wherever it is he at, they catch him, bail is going to be off the table. Remember, I told you this. So now Tank put himself in a situation we're going to have to sit in jail. I don't know for how long. They're going to sit him in jail. They're going to remand him. They're going to say, this is your court date, your next court date, 2-3 months down the line, whatever it is. You're going to have to wait in jail for that. Ramirez. So, Jay Smith, does that not scream that Tank mentally ain't in his right head? I've been telling you this. Now, that don't say nothing about mentally. That don't say shit about not mentally. Let me tell you something. I had a warrant for myself before. I know what that's about. I know what having a warrant is, my G. And let me tell you, when I had a warrant, I went on the run too. They had to catch my ass. I wasn't gonna turn myself in. The only difference is that Tank got money. Tank got lawyers. Tank got resources that I didn't have. I knew when they catch me, I was going to jail. I already knew that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna give away my freedom. I'm not gonna make it easy for you. Here, take me and take my freedom. I was on the lam, baby. So that don't say nothing about your mental health. That just say you don't want to go to jail, bro. That's all that say. Especially, listen, when you got a lot of money and you got, access to doing whatever you want, it's hard to lose your freedom. It's even harder to lose your freedom when you got it like that. Daniel Negron, salute, my brother. Bam. Juan González, le gusta pegar a las mujeres. I mean, I don't know what's going on with that case. It's hard for us to judge and say, no, he do this, he do that. But ultimately, all I know is that right now, Tank Davis should not be running. Running only makes it worse. Juan González, hermano mío, ¡pam! Saludando allá. Con las mujeres que hay con el dinero que tiene, hay cosas que nunca voy a entender. Yo no entiendo eso tampoco, hermanito mío, lo que está pasando ahí. Ramirez. But Smith, you wasn't no superstar athlete that actually makes it worse for Tank. Because he could be sentenced by anyone and get caught. I can get disciplined worse by the feds. I wasn't no superstar athlete. But I was still just a human being that don't want to lose his freedom, my G. Nobody is never going to be easy when there's the possibility of jail time for you to just say, hey, you can take me. Come on now. When you're on this side of the fence, it's real easy. Look at me. I'm like, yo, Tank, turn yourself in. Turn yourself in. It's easy for me to do it. That's not my freedom. That's his freedom. So yes, the right thing to do is for him to turn himself in, try to get a bail, and allow his lawyers to do their job. That's the right thing to do. It's not easy, my G. It's not. It's not at all. Alfo, you said Bakram Mortasaliev, the better man. I'm going to make that prediction today, fam. I'm going to be making that prediction today. Bakram Mortasaliev versus Kelly. That's going to be a good fight, man. I saw Kelly in his last one, and he showed me stuff that I didn't know he had. He showed me stuff that told me, whoa, wait a minute. This dude is a problem. I thought he was just good, but the guy can fight. Guy can really fight. So it's going to be a good showdown. Haven't made that prediction yet, but I will. Ramirez, that screams, you ain't in your right head. That's your opinion, bro. I don't like to play. I don't like to play psychic. I don't like to play therapist. I don't like to play psychologist. I have a feeling you ain't none of that either. So you could play it and make your assumptions, but that's all that's going to be, bro. It's going to be assumptions. You have to stop getting in people's minds based on what you've seen on TV. I don't do that. At least me, I don't get in nobody's mind at all. I simply go with logic. Nobody want to lose their freedom. Nobody want to go to jail. Most people don't turn themselves in. Most people. So Tank doing what most people do, don't really say shit about his mental state. Unless you want to make things up in your head. And yo, listen. I need you to understand something, Ramirez. Even psychologists, psychiatrists need to have an interview with somebody before they can make a determination on mental health. They cannot, are not allowed to make a determination based on the shit they seen on TV, based on the shit they heard on social media. So I understand that you having zero training in psychiatry, zero training in mental health, zero education in the matter, can make a determination off of what you've seen on social media, you could do that and make it an interesting conversation. But really, everything you're saying is meaningless crap, bro. It's meaningless crap. A professional would tell you, bro, I need to speak to him. If you ask a professional that knows about that subject, they would tell you, no, Ramirez, that's not the way that it works. I have to sit down with Tank Davis and have like a 2-hour interview where we talk about all type of shit for me to make a determination. You make a determination watching TV and social media. That's crazy work and you don't even know it, bro. Juan Carlos, Tupuria. Hermanito, nosotros aquí no hablamos de gente que no tenga el boxeo. Si usted menciona a otra gente que no es boxeador, vamos a tener una conversación muy diferente. Entonces, por favor, manténlo en el boxeo. Aquí ni siquiera hablamos español, manito. Yo te estoy respondiendo porque yo sé que a ti te gusta el deporte y a mí también. Pero aquí ni siquiera hablamos español y ya tú estás hablando de gente que ni siquiera son boxeadores. Te voy a dar esa sola oportunidad, manito, pero no lo haga más, por favor. Ramirez, bro, Tank can't even articulate himself. He don't even know how to explain nothing he going through. Like I said, bro, you make interesting conversational talking points, but they're really meaningless. None of it makes no type of sense. You come up with conclusions based on what you see on TV and social media. Tank, mentally, a professional cannot make an evaluation based on what they see on TV. You make an evaluation off of it. It might mean something to you, but it's meaningless. And even incoherent. Damn, nigga said stop thinking I'm a retard. Bro, nobody say you're a retard. What are you talking about? You making incoherent statements based on what you see on TV. If you say, I actually do counseling. Look, if you say you do counseling, I'm not going to question it. It don't really sound like it, but if you really do counseling, then I'm sure you know you can't really do counseling over some shit you saw on social media. You got to do counseling based on I sit down with you, we have a conversation, and I determine what's the counseling that you need. I hope that you're not watching shit that kids is posting or people posting on social media and you giving them counseling based on that. I would like to believe that. And you say, I do counseling. Are you a counselor? Because I hope you're not like the people that say, I do boxing, and then when you look into it, you motherfucker put the gloves on with somebody in the backyard. If you boxing somebody in the backyard, you ain't a boxer. You're just some guys that put gloves on and trade leather. So I don't know what type of counseling you're doing, but I would like to believe that you're not doing it over social media posts. That's all I'm saying. I'm making an evaluation of his actions. I'm sorry, you don't know. Then you cannot be a professional. You're definitely not a professional. You're definitely not a professional counselor. You don't know his actions, or you only know what you see on social media, bro. You don't know Tank Davis. That's the thing about us boxing fans, man, that we watch TV and social media and we think we know these people. You literally don't know shit about Tank Davis, bro. You don't know about his personal relationship. You don't know how he behaves in his personal life. You don't know the people that he's interacting with. You don't know shit about Tank Davis, but what you see on social media. And based on that, you're making an evaluation? Bro, I hope you're not counseling people off of social media posts. That shit would be nasty work. Al, I'ma know you. I'ma KO you, bro. Now we got a comedian. You need a 24-hour break. Just for sounding that dumb, you need a 24-hour break. We got the first dummy of the show this morning, my people. Dummy. Take that 24 hours. Come back tomorrow. Say something smart. My peoples, I don't understand why Tank Davis is on the run. But I only say that because it's my freedom that's not on the line here. It's his. So I can tell you what is the right thing to do and what most people do. The right thing to do in this case is turn yourself in. That's the right thing to do. But guess what? When it was my turn, When I had a warrant, I didn't turn myself in. They had to find me. So, if I know that most people don't turn themselves in, why would I think it's crazy that Tank Davis is on the run? It's not crazy. It's perfectly normal. You know what Tank is on right now? Tank is on survival mode. Okay? No, Ramirez. I had a warrant in the state of New Hampshire. So it's cool that you try to see if the warrant was in Dominican Republic so that you can now go into your... No, but it's different over there. Actually, it was in the state of New Hampshire. So it was in the US of A. And I was under the same exact circumstances as Tank Davis. It wasn't related to a woman. It was connected to drugs, but they were still looking for me. And they was looking for me harder than they was looking for Tank Davis, to be honest. They were looking for me way harder. So I love the fact that, was it in DR? So that you could say, oh, no, it's different in Dominican Republic. Nope. My shit was worse than Tank Davis. They was actively looking for me. They was actively going to people's house. They was harassing people thinking they was hiding me. So I know what it is to be on the run. And I know what it is for people to say, yo, turn yourself in. You're making it worse. I know what that is. I know what that is, my G. But I'm a changed man, baby. Ain't nothing better than a street nigga that's a changed man. Because ain't nobody gonna bluff me in nothing. In this corporate world, you can't bluff me. Ain't shit you could do with me. But like I said, you know, for me now, I'm free. It's easy for me to say, yo, Tank, turn yourself in, bro. That's the right thing to do. But when there was people telling me to turn myself in, I wasn't having it. I wasn't trying to hear it. And guess what, Ramirez? I wasn't dealing with no mental health or mental issues. Nah. I just didn't want to give up my freedom. Life was good. Why am I going to turn myself in, go to jail, sit there for I don't know how long, when I got a little bit of money, I got some hoes, I could move around in a cab and not let nobody see me. I could still have a good time. I could still go get my Purple Haze in New York City. Just a couple hours drive. Man, while on the run, I still had the time of my life, my peoples. And then they caught me. Because that's the thing. When you on the run, it's just a matter of time before they get you. Ramirez, that's a fact. You can't bluff us. That's it. We done seen it all. We done it all. We done seen people get got. We done seen people get jerked. That's it. You can't bluff us. This is beautiful now. I don't do crime. I don't break laws. My car, y'all can't take it from me. My property, y'all can't take it from me, baby. This my shit now. Come take this. Oops, it's legal. It's all legal, baby. You can't touch me. Ooh, it's a beautiful feeling, bro. On lace. That 189 buck. Ooh, damn. Damn, brother. Why you mentioned that to me for? I don't smoke no more, man. You made me want to go back to New York and smoke a blunt over there. Stop that. Don't do this to me, bro. God damn. And that Dykeman shit? Come on now. That wood from Dykeman? Nasty. Nasty. Salute to my people in New York City, man. Salute to my people in Dykeman. Salute to my people in the Heights. In Kingsbridge. Midtown Manhattan. Salute to my peoples in 137th and Broadway. They know me over there. But again, it's easy to tell somebody else to turn themselves in because it's not your freedom. So I could sit here all day and say, yo, Tank, turn yourself in, bro. That's it. Stop running. You're only going to make it worse. But when you the one living the situation, it's not easy, my people. It ain't. Loza, is it possible he gets locked up? Honestly, Loza, it is. In fact, I'm going to put it to you like this. When you got a warrant for your arrest, I want you to think about this. When you got a warrant for your arrest and they catch you running, there's almost no chance for you to get bail. No chance. Because you already showed them that you're going to run. You already proved it. When they were looking for you, they had to find you. So if they catch Tank Davis, whether it's in a house, in a hotel, pull him over and he's in a car, whatever it is, they're going to say, we had to catch you running. We can't give you bail. Usually that's what happens. Thus, when they catch him, he's not only going to get locked up, he's most likely going to have to sit in jail until his court date and maybe even up until they go to trial. Because, of course, the lawyer, listen, when you got high-powered attorneys like Tank Davis has, of course they're going to try to get him a bail and get him some type of conditions. For example, they're going to say, look, let's get him a bail, let's put him on a bracelet and home confinement. They might, you know, when you got real good lawyers, Tank probably got them Jewish lawyers, they probably going to try to get him some home confinement, like, so that he don't have to sit in jail. And, you know, with the bracelet, all type of GPS tracking to make sure he don't leave his house. That could happen. But when they catch you running, the odds are against that happening. Probably Tank is going to have to sit in jail and fight this case from jail. The Hydro Grind in the building. Bam! We got a bunch of fights this weekend. No doubt, my G. And we are going to be talking about these fights. But we're addressing the Tank Davis situation because he's still on the run. Matter of fact, I'm going to give y'all over and under right now. I'm going to tell you what's the over and under for Tank Davis to get arrested. 3 months. 3 months is the over under. So I'm going to ask you the question. Do you think Tank Davis will get caught before 3 months or after 3 months? He got a warrant. They actively looking for him. What do you think? Alaska Marine, you think Stevenson will fight a top 5 pound-for-pound boxer in our lifetime? I mean, you have to understand, you don't dictate who's going to be on the pound-for-pound list or who is going to be in the same division as him. What I do predict is that Shakur is constantly going to look to fight the best in whatever division he's on. Right now, the best 140-pounder is Teofimo Lopez, and that's who he's going to fight. There isn't anybody top 5 on the pound-for-pound list that's on his weight class, so how can you face him? Inoue is not in his weight class. Usyk is not in his weight class. Bivol is not in his weight class. Beterbiev is not in his weight class. Bro, you can't decide who's in your weight class. I will tell you, without a shred of doubt, that Shakur is going to consistently look to fight the best in whatever division he's at. That we won't be able to get around it. The Hydro Grind. Xander Sayas versus Baru. Who you got? I think Baru can pull off the upset. Bueno, manito. Bueno, manito. That's a good fight. Xander Sayas, the young lion. Obviously, Baru got the experience, the skills to pull off the upset. But, Xander Sayas is a special talent, bro. That's going to be a good fight. I'm not ready to make that prediction yet. I will make it. Fight's coming up soon. I will make it. But I'm not ready right now. I gotta review a few more things. The Hydra Grind under 3 months. There you go. The over and under for Tank Davis to get arrested, 3 months. Is he gonna be on the lam for more than 3 months or less? The Hydra Grind says under 3 months. The Hydra Grind, we got Dominican in action too. Rohan Polanco and Eldy Cedeno. Ooh, the Dominicans is in the building, bro. Listen, I've been telling people, I've been trying to put people on. Dominican Republic got some real special fighters coming up, some young talent coming up. And you're going to see 4, 5, maybe 6 Dominican world champions simultaneously. I'm not saying today, I'm not saying tomorrow, but there's a lot of these guys that are coming up that are super talented, that are early in their career, that they will become world champions. I can pretty much guarantee it. The Hydra Grind, did you see Xander's last fight? I didn't like what I saw. I say it wasn't his best performance. I'll rock with you on that. But how old is Xander Sayas? What, 21? 2021? He's a young kid. Real young. And at that age, you expect fighters to make certain mistakes. You expect, they're in that development process. Look at Abdullah Mason. A few fights back, when he got dropped twice in the first round. He fought an opponent who was nowhere near his skill level. But it's a guy who can bang. And Abdullah made a few mistakes and he paid for it. But that only made him a better fighter. Listen, I'm going to put it to you like this. If that version of Abdullah Mason would have showed up versus Sam Noakes, he would have got knocked out. He would have got knocked out brutally. So being dropped twice by this average Joe who got power only made Abdullah better. Only accelerated his development process and prepared him for an opponent like Sam Noakes. Look, in that fight, if you think about it, Abdullah had to raise his game to where he never been to. He had to be better than he had ever been. Do what he never done to walk out of there with that W. That's when you separate the real good fighters from the great fighters. Abdullah showed us shades of greatness. I do stuff. Salute, my brother. Bam! Abdullah could have easily lost that fight versus Sam Noakes. And anybody who watches knows Sam Noakes is for real. That dude's going to be a world champion. I promise you that. I promise that you will see Sam Noakes wearing a belt. I'm not saying that he's going to rematch Abdullah and beat him. He can't beat Abdullah Mason. But just because you can't beat such a special fighter doesn't mean that you're not going to become a world champion. And Sam Noakes is absolutely going to become a champion. He's a championship caliber fighter. I'm telling you that. You know I don't cap. You know I don't make shit up. On Lace Smith, how you feel about Tank being stripped and Kid Austin gets to fight for the belt? Look, as far as Tank Davis being downgraded to champion in recess, I understand it and I respect it because he's not in a position to defend. He's on the run right now. So if you're on the run, we know you can't defend your title. We know we can't schedule a fight with you. We're going to have to move that belt around. Because at this point, I hate to say it, Tank is holding up the division. He's holding up the belt. He's not even in boxing right now. So, and supposedly, it's going to be Kid Austin and Lamar Roach fighting for that belt. So, it's fair. Fair game. Lamar Roach deserve a title shot, number one. Kid Austin deserve a title shot, number two. And number three, Tank Davis is on the run right now. He can't even fight. Unless, who do you prefer? Kid Austin versus Roach or Lucas Badie? Honestly, I prefer Kid Austin versus Lamar Roach. Because we know what happened with Lamar Roach and Tank Davis. We know how that fight played out, the controversy, Vaseline gate, knee gate, referee not doing shit gate. So, with the controversial finish and the controversial outcome of that Tank Davis fight versus Lamar Roach, I 100% feel like Roach deserve a shot. Deserve an opportunity. Al Booger, salute family. Oh, they give an opportunity to Kid Austin. I feel like he deserve it. Yeah, Kid Austin definitely. Especially with his destruction of Tevin Farmer. He deserve it. He earned it. Alphon. Jacob Blank training with Troy Williams for William Skull. So I gotta say, look, William Skull is a good fighter. Cuban fighter with that elite level footwork. But I also think, man, at his age, I think William Skull is like close to 40 years old, something like that. So I think he could be a good stepping stone for younger fighters, but I don't think he's the guy that is going to be running a division or anything like that. The Hydro Grind, Carmel is the talk for the title shot too. I don't think they're going to give Carmel a title shot so early. Simply because he hasn't, I don't think he's ranked high enough. He's definitely not going to be a mandatory, but it can happen. Remember, Floyd Mayweather was ready and willing to debut Carmel Morton for a title shot versus the guy from the UK, Warrington. Is it Warrington? I can't remember the guy's name, man. Damn. But I know that Floyd was trying to make that fight. And Fams was like, nah, I'll fight you. Me and you closer to age than me and Carmel. Unless Mama Holyfield was on live, Mill City and Lucas, they trying to go with that fight. I prefer Roach. He power punches. He showed he can take the power punches. So, Lamar Roach is a very crafty fighter. Oh, no, I made a mistake. It wasn't Josh Warrington. It was Lee Wood. It was Lee Wood. At the time, Lee Wood was a champion. And Floyd was like, what's up? We want to debut against you for your title. And we were like, nah, buddy. I ain't fighting no Carmel. I ain't going to fight that young, hungry lion and get beat up like that. Look, man, Carmel Morton is a problem. He is one of my favorite young fighters in the game. And I said this before. Carmel has all the tools and resources, the backing of Floyd Mayweather to become the face of boxing. Not in this generation, right? Because he's too young right now. In this generation, the face of boxing is going to be Shakur Stevenson. But when Shakur Stevenson is at the tail end of his career and about to leave, the next one coming up, it could be Carmel. But Carmel's going to have some stiff competition. Because it's going to be Carmel Morton, Abdullah Mason, Zaquin Moses, and there's a few others out there. that can potentially be fighting for that top spot. But Carmel Morton, you see look, I'm going to tell you like this. Carmel Morton, his style of boxing, there's a lot of similarities to Tank Davis in his explosiveness, ferociousness, aggressiveness. You could see a lot of Tank Davis in Carmel's game. There's only one difference that I see. Oh, no, there's a few, but I'm talking about mindset-wise. While Tank Davis told us many times that he don't give a damn about belts, he don't give a damn about titles, Carmel Morton is the opposite. He's spoken about wanting to be the greatest, wanting to accomplish. This kid was willing to debut for a title right away. So Carmel is not just going to take the route of I'm going to make the most money. Carmel's not going to take the route of I'm trying to make money, I'm trying to make the most money and put the most butts in seats. He's also going to take the route of I'm trying to fight the best and I'm trying to beat the best, which we haven't seen Tank Davis do. Unless Carmel is no longer going to Mayweather gym anymore, according to Jeff Mayweather. I hope he don't get shelved. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I see Carmel training, and I see he got a fight coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if he just happened to go to training camp somewhere else to train with somebody or something like that. But everything I see from Carmel, he's on the up and up. Carmel Morton been on, and I'm going to tell you something. They've been real smart with the way they move in Carmel. You know why? Because if you look at his box rec, he's been in there with some good opponents, my people. He's been in there, you know, young guys who don't have an extensive resume. But Carmel, my peoples, he's training and facing some stiff competition. Stiff opponents. So let's see where this is going to go. But let me show you an example. That's in September of last year. That's September of last year in Floyd's gym. So the notion that, you know, he's not there, I don't buy none of that. I've seen Carmel always training in different gyms. But there's nothing that tells me that there's any issues with Floyd or with the gym or anything like that. Alpha, 154 IBF on the line very soon. Al Booger, that's right. And I feel like Lee will retire in the ring. His next fight, Lee Wood ain't want nothing to do with Carmel. Nothing to do. Listen, he could have got a career payday. More money than he ever made in his life fighting Carmel. He wasn't going to take that. And I respect it. You're in your 30s, at the tail end of your career, and you got this young, hungry lion, only 18 years old, ready and willing to fight you. And you see his style of boxing. That wouldn't have been a good fight for Lee Wood, unless you're ready to retire, take this little bag and retire. But it's going to be an embarrassing loss. No world champion want to lose to a guy making his pro debut. That's a bad loss. You don't want to take that. Nobody want that. Al Booger, that's right. Rep the king forever. Tank would have got slumped by Jake. I don't know how you figure that. But Jake Paul got slumped by AJ. Forget about what you think could have happened and look at what did happen. Jaw broken in 2 places. Which, by the way, I'll be the first to tell you, that fight should never have been sanctioned. A fight between a YouTuber and a world championship caliber fighter should never be sanctioned. This is what's going to happen every time. You take a guy with 0 championship experience who never faced an elite level fighter, who got beat by Tommy Fury, and you put him against a world champion, this is what you're going to get every single time. The King Forever. Netflix made him do it. Oh, you got conspiracies. You got conspiracies? Take that 24-hour break. We don't do conspiracies in this channel, my G. You got conspiracies? Take a 24-hour break. Come back tomorrow talking about facts. We don't do conspiracies over here, my G. You didn't know? You're new to the channel, bro. Next time you come with conspiracies, you're getting blocked. You getting blocked the next time you come with dumb conspiracies, buddy. It's all rigged. AJ was supposed to take a fall. Another one with conspiracies, a 30-minute break. But in reality, I didn't mean to give you a 30-minute break. I meant to give you a 24-hour break, so you're lucky. But when you come back in 30 minutes, if you got another conspiracy, that's 24 hours for you, buddy. Not your typical athlete. AJ got popped, though. I mean, I don't know what you think AJ got popped with. In boxing, people get hit, my guy. People get hit. It's boxing. On Lace, you know we're gonna pack. You know we're gonna pack the conspiracy theories the fuck up, bro. But it's boxing, man, G. If you fight somebody that could fight way better than you, that doesn't mean you can't catch him with a shot or two. You're gonna catch him, but they're gonna beat the shit out of you. And that's what happened to That's what happened to Jake Paul. Beat the shit out of him. And I told people, leading to the fight, I told people, I said, listen, this guy's gonna pummel Jake Paul brutally. I try to tell ya. Mid-City King, De Los Santos better than Andy Cruz. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how you came up with that. And I'm Dominican. De Los Santos, my Dominican brother. But he's better than Andy Cruz. How did you come up with that? I don't even know. I think people just say anything. I don't know if you're just trying to get attention or something, bro. Not your typical athlete. Yeah, fair enough. Look, we digressed. Over or under 3 months. Is Tank Davis going to get arrested after 3 months or before 3 months? He's on the run. He's on the lam. Over or under? The lunatic librarian in the hizzy. Salute, family. Bam! You already know what it is. Fellas, it's like I told ya. For me, sitting in the comfort of my own home, Al Booger says under, Tank Davis gonna get got in less than 3 months. From the comfort of my own home, it's easy for me to say, yo, Tank, turn yourself in. You got money. You got lawyers. My people, hit that like button. We cooking this sweet science for y'all. Tank, you got money. You got lawyers. Turn yourself in. Let your lawyers do their job. But I'm saying that from the comfortableness and the freedom of my home. It ain't easy to turn yourself in when you know your ass going to jail. And now that Tank Davis been on the run, he probably already knows that he's not getting no bail. He probably knows this. Larry Silverstein, when a boxer going to do MMA and stop ducking the smoke. MMA? Larry, you need a 24-hour break. This boxing for breakfast. We talk boxing. We do boxing. We don't do MMA. And I don't give a damn about boxers going to MMA. So come back in 24 hours and talk boxing. If you want to come back in 24 hours and talk MMA, we blocking your ass for that. Go to an MMA page to talk about MMA, if that's what you really want. This ain't an MMA channel. On Lace, they're going to let him go over 3 months and pile on more charges. Ooh. Nah, so the time that you're on the run doesn't really add more charges. You're just fucking up your possibility of getting bail. Now, if he do something else, if while he on the run, he get caught in a DUI or he get arrested because he got into something else, then that's different. Now he got more problems. But ultimately, being on the run, that's it, he's on the run. I do stuff. You think Charlo getting the Boots fight? I would like for him to get it. I would like to see that fight. And I tell you what, man. The Charlos, I'm kind of upset with both of them. I'm upset with both of them because I see them fighting with each other on social media. And I don't want to see two brothers fighting. Like, damn, man. Both of these niggas is elite boxers. Both of them world championship caliber fighters. Both of them got that talent to be at the top of their game. And it's like, damn, man, y'all niggas is letting your personal life get in the way of the bag. Get in the way of the sport you love. They got to get their shit together, man. I hate it. I hate it. I hate to see them fighting with each other. I don't like that shit. And I don't like the fact that they're inactive. Every time that the Charlos step in the ring, you know we're going to get that smoke. You know we're going to get that action. They're going to give us what we want. And they're going to make their money. Why the fuck you niggas is fighting with each other? I don't like that shit, man. That bothers me. Bothers me a lot. These dudes is supposed to be still winning titles, still, you know, enjoying life, being at the highest peak. But shit going on in their personal life, man, that's not letting them be what they supposed to be. And I don't like that. Ryan Bascom, both elite and on social media too much. The Hydro Grind, did you see Vargas fighting each other on the hotel lobby? Man, that was some goofy ass shit. Goofy ass shit, bro. Not your typical athlete. You absolute legend. Appreciate it, my brother. The Vargas brother. But I'm going to tell you something. Two brothers going at it, throwing hands. And I heard that by the next day they was hanging out. Nothing to see here. Ain't nothing to see here. People make too much of it. You see, the Vargas situation, I don't see it like the Charlo situation. You know why? Because they was hanging out together, drunk. They started arguing about who could be who out of them two. And the younger brother said, nigga, you already lost. Didn't you lose in your last fight? In front of some girls they was talking to. They drunk. I beat your ass. And before you know it, they throwing hands. Fisticuffs. But by the next day, they was hanging out together. That's normal brother shit. Me and my brother been through hands at each other when we was younger. Mad times. And then we was hanging out together, playing ball together, playing video games together. Nothing to see here. So the Vargas brother situation ain't a big deal. That shit happened between brothers. But the Charlo brother situation, it bothers me because they not accomplishing what they supposed to be able to accomplish. They not getting the bags that they supposed to be getting. And I don't like that. You don't see the Vargas brothers posting about each other. I see, I think it was Jermel posting about this nigga jealous and this nigga this nigga that. Man, y'all niggas need to take that shit backstage. Y'all niggas need to handle that shit behind the scenes. Because, let's keep it real. There's people that want to see you fall. There's people that want to see you go down. And when they see you posting shit about each other, they celebrate that shit. They enjoy it. Don't give them that. Don't give them that pleasure, that satisfaction. Handle your business behind closed doors, man. I don't like that. Tony, I am disappointed with both the Charlos and the Vargas brothers for fighting each other. Sad. The lunatic librarian, Charlo Bros, Robert Easter Jr., Adrian Broner, Tank Davis, Stanley Onis, Mike Garcia, Errol Spence, Jared Hurd, all PBC fighters that are done. Man, listen, it's like I told you. I think that the Charlo brothers, they're in their last stance. And what I mean by last stance is like, yo, y'all either gonna get your shit together and get to the top again because you're elite level fighters and you got what it takes to get to the top, or you're gonna keep fucking around and that's it. You're never gonna see the top again. You're never another belt. You're never gonna do what you was fucking meant to do. That sucks. Where the fuck is Lions Only? What happened? Fix that shit. Whatever's going on in y'all personal life, y'all need to fix that shit. I do stuff. Vargas brothers, typically Latin family. I mean, you know, fisticuffs between brothers, and then we hanging out and drinking tomorrow again. That's normal to me. That's nothing to see here. Not your typical athlete. I'm a boxer too. I want to move to America one day to train. Listen, all I'ma say, respect to you, because you know what it is to step in the ring, trade leather, keep training hard, and you can make that happen. All you have to do is keep training, keep working, keep grinding. That can happen for you, brother. Ryan Bascom. Some people live just to see others fail. It sucks. And I wish it wasn't that way. You're right about that, bro. And it's not even celebrities. It's not even just celebrities. Every one of you, every single one in this live, there's somebody out there who want to see you fail. There's somebody out there who want to see your ass cooked, finished. Because people are like that. There's people, look, you may not understand this now, but time will show you. There's people out there who act like they want to see you win, but deep down inside, they dying to see you lose. If you got a good job, they dying for you to lose that job. To say, oh man, damn, what happened, bro? If you're making good money, they dying for your money to go down. So they can be like, oh man, damn. They want to feel sorry for you. They don't want to be happy for you. They don't want to celebrate you. That's not just athletes. That's in life. There's people you know for years who've been silently praying for your downfall. That's just the reality. I do stuff. Zuffa signed Jai Opataya. Let's see where that's going to go. Let's see who's going to be Jai Opataya's first opponent. And we're going to either praise it or criticize it. Ryan Bascom, brothers fight. But the people that want to see such failures of communications are unfulfilled in their own lives. No lies told, my brother. It's not just unfulfilled. There's people who don't like their own situation, so they want you to be in a situation that you don't like either. They want you to be in a fucked up situation too. And then if it happens to you, they celebrate it. They can't wait. They can't wait. They lurking and waiting for something negative to happen to you so that they could celebrate it. Shackle hands. It was the older bro saying he won't beat Boots. So this man took offense to it and started going in on Moore. I mean, I don't know why Moore would say that his young brother can't beat Boots. That would piss me off if my brother said I can't beat somebody. But then you're not supposed to go off on your brother on social media either. They both wrong. They both got it twisted. What the fuck happened to Lions Only? You're supposed to be supporting each other. You're supposed to be pushing each other. You're supposed to be rooting so that both of you could get to the top again. Instead, y'all wasting your energy, your vibe, on negative shit about each other. That's crazy. Crazy. Ryan Bascom, yes sir, misery loves company. That's a fact. The lunatic librarian. Booz needs to fight Mortas Saliev. Mortas Saliev beats everyone at 154. And I was going to ask you guys this. Is Bakra Mortas Saliev the new boogeyman in boxing? Is he the Boogeyman at 154? That motherfucker dangerous. Dangerous. That beating he gave Tim Tszyu, we never gonna forget it. That was a nasty beating. Even, look, Sebastian Fundora beat Tim Tszyu in the rematch. He beat him up. But that beatdown Mortaz Aliyev game, Tim Tszyu, that dominating beatdown, yo, we never gonna forget that. JJ said, "That's good morning, J. Smith. I'm here. Let's go." Salute, family. Shakur hands. We gotta see after this fight, his next fight probably. Nasty KO, says Sai. Bro, Mortaz Aliyev, not just the left hook, man. The straight right hand down the pipe. He trying to break your head. This dude trying to punch through you. JJ said, "There's 28 people in the building and only 14 likes." Come on, my people. We already said in 2026, there ain't going to be no ghost watching. Almost an hour and a half and not even 20 likes. Double tap that screen, my peoples. Let's get Jay Smith in the algorithm. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. Boxing for Breakfast is going to be the #1 boxing show, period. There's no getting around it. But you guys can help me get there faster, man. Hit that like button. I'm going to either be the best, be the #1 in a couple of years, or be #1 in 2026. You guys are going to decide that shit. Shakur hands. Yes, he punching through you, right through. This dude trying to punch a hole in your face. Ryan Bascom. Yeah, Mortaz Aliyev not playing. He not playing around. This dude is really dangerous. But, let's call it what it is. Right now, the guy in the 154 division is Sebastian Fundora. Make no mistake about that. You want to be the guy? You got to get through him. So Mortaz Aliyev, right now he looking like a boogeyman. He dangerous. But the man in the division running the whole shit is Sebastian Fundora. You can't be the man in the division if you can't get past him. Not your typical athlete. When I finish my community work, hours hook it up with a promotion. How? The lunatic librarian, Josh Kelly, has no shot. God damn, bro. No. Hold on. Let me just say this. Josh Kelly showed me stuff in his last fight that I didn't know he had. Last fight, I saw Josh Kelly. I was like, God damn. This motherfucker ready to bang. And he ready to beat your ass inside of a phone booth. So hold on. I'm not willing to say that Josh Kelly got no shot. Ryan Bascom, you're going to be bigger than Showbiz. Watch. You talking facts. Showbiz don't know shit about boxing. Showbiz, the entertainer. He a good entertainer. I could sit him down and teach him about boxing. But I got to say, salute to Showbiz. I give him his props. I give him his flowers. Because this guy was a rapper. He was like, I think he wanted to be, I don't know if he made it. I don't know if he ever recorded an album, but he was like a rapper. And that didn't work out. He got into boxing, and look where he's at. This guy's on motherfucking The Zone. This guy's at the biggest fights, interviewing some of the best fighters in the game. So you got to give Showbiz his respect. But when it comes to this boxing shit, he can't fuck with me. Good entertainer. Very good entertainer. He doing his thing. He killing it. But he can't fuck with me with boxing. He try to debate with me in boxing, he going to get cooked. And I make it look easy. But much respect to Showbiz the entertainer. He doing his thing out there. He's in places where I want to be. So I got to show him respect and love. Can't fuck with me, though. Can't fuck with me. Ryan Bascom, there you go. Teach him boxing. Shit, get him in a room with me. Get him in a conversation with me. And he getting cooked. Ryan Bascom, you do have Showbiz on boxing knowledge, respect. He can't see me. He can't see me with that. But I also don't want to, downplay what he brings to the table. Because at this point, Showbiz is in the game. He's at the fights. He's talking to the fighters. So he really is acquiring knowledge of the game. But he ain't never punched nobody in their face. He ain't never been punched in the face. He ain't never laced on a pair of gloves. You can't fuck with me. Can't fuck with me. That's just the reality. The lunatic librarian. Fundora got KO'd by Mendoza. He gets hit so much. Mortasalio has taken so much step aside money because he didn't have a name until he beat Zoo. But still, it's all about the accomplishments, because I want you to think about something, the lunatic librarian. You made a good point. You made a very good point with Mortasaliev not being able to get those fights and about Fundora getting KO'd. But I'm going to remind you some that you didn't take into consideration when you made that comment. All of you guys know, I even got to stand up for this one. I got to stand up to show you. All of you guys know, think about this, the lunatic librarian. Just business, salute family. I want you guys to consider this. Sebastian Fundora, before he got knocked out by Mendoza, remember we always used to say, yo, why this guy's so big and he don't use his size? Why this guy's so big and he brawling inside of the phone booth? You big as hell. So before getting knocked out by Mendoza, Fundora refused to use his height and reach advantages. You will see Fundora inside the booth trading with guys. Boom, 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 boom. Fundora was fighting like he was short. After he got knocked out, have you seen the new version of Fundora? Jabbing the shit out of motherfuckers from across the ring, bro. All the way over here. Bang, bang, bang. Now, if you want to trade with Fundora, you're going to eat hella leather trying to get on the inside, bro. It's nasty. It's nasty the type of punishment you're going to eat trying to close that gap. So the Sebastian Fundora, my brother, that got knocked out by Mendoza, he don't exist no more. Forget that. Look at when he got knocked out. Boom, 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 boom. He got caught. Fundora don't do that no more, bro. That's it. Mendoza got the last version of the fighting you inside of the phone booth, Fundora. No more. That version of Sebastian Fundora don't exist no more. You could forget about that knockout because ain't nobody going to be touching him up like that. Forget that. And I'm not saying that he can't get got. I'm not telling you that Fundora can't get got. Anybody could get got. But what I'm trying to tell you, it's a lot harder these days to catch up with Fundora than it used to be. Because before, he was willing to sit there and bang with you. Bam, 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 bam. We banging it out. And I'ma out-tough you. This dude mastered that long-ass jab. And ever since then, he look unbeatable, bro. Unbeatable. So let's see. Let's see who is going to take that title from him. Because the way that Mendoza beat him, I promise you, nobody's going to get that opportunity. Period. There is no more Sebastian Fundora fighting like he 5 feet tall. Now he's fighting you like he 10 feet tall. It's a problem. B-Skull, no. Andy Cruz not beating Edwin or Schofield. Unless Fundora found out how to fight with his reach. And now he's deadly, bro. Sebastian Fundora is deadly with that reach. The lunatic librarian. I was ringside for Fundora versus Tim Tszyu 1. Sat right behind Omar Figueroa Jr. for that fight. Tszyu broke Fundora's face in both fights, bro. The first fight, Tim Tszyu did really good. And I think that the cut affected him a lot because there was a lot of blood pouring into his face, and that's disruptive. But in the second fight, the lunatic librarian, Tim Tszyu wasn't even competitive, bro. He wasn't even competitive. Fundora beat the shit out of him. Beat the shit out of him, bro. So that second fight, you're not on the money with that. Broke his face. Tim Tszyu got absolutely pummeled in the second fight. Ryan Bascom, Showbiz, has fought. He fought at heavyweight. Didn't get far. But he's been in the ring, seen footage. Honestly, I didn't know that. Real talk. Look, I guess I don't follow Showbiz enough to know that. That's a detail, honestly, that I never knew. But I'll look into it and I'll even check it out. Wasn't aware of that. Alphon, who do you got, Josh or Bakram, to beat Fundora? I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm going to say something funny that a lot of people don't expect for me to say. Keith, one-time Thurman, who was scheduled to fight Sebastian Fundora, and then that got pushed back, but supposedly that fight's still happening, I'd give Keith Thurman a shot. Fundora is going to be the favorite. If they fight each other, of course, Sebastian Fundora is the favorite. But Keith Thurman is being disrespected. People forget the type of fighter that Keith Thurman is. They don't really remember that. And I would say Keith Thurman got a chip on his shoulder. He want to become a world champion. He want to prove that he can still get to the top. If they fight each other, it's going to be a good fight. I think Keith Thurman has a chance because he's going to have the edge in speed, the edge in footwork, the edge in experience, and all of those can factor into how the fight plays out. So Fundora's the favorite, but I'd give Keith Thurman a shot. I haven't made a prediction yet on that fight. We don't even know if it's actually going to happen. But I hope it does, and I like that fight. Ryan Bascom, yeah, Tim Tszyu fought a different Sebastian Fundora the second time. Tszyu had him the first fight. But once again, we saw the difference in the fight number one, fight number two. Fight number one, Fundora was trying to trade with him. And then towards the end, he started using that long jab. Pop, pop, pop. And ever since the last few rounds, the championship rounds of that fight, where he used that effective jab and didn't allow Tim Tszyu to operate, ever since then, it seemed like that jab is getting better and more consistent every time Sebastian Fundora steps in the ring. So to beat a guy like that, you're going to need speed. You're going to be able to get around that offense. And it's not easy. Not easy. The lunatic librarian. Tim got his ass whooped. But watch the fight again. Fundora knows what's destroyed in both fights. That's my point. But the lunatic librarian is boxing. People gonna get hit. When you're talking about hard punchers, when you get hit, they're gonna cause damage. But I don't think Tim Tszyu won a single round in the second fight, bro. A broken cards. Tim Tszyu was absolutely dominated before being stopped. Getting hit with a hard shot doesn't mean nothing. A broken nose happens with one shot, one punch. Ryan Bascom, you fought way more than Showbiz, though. But he's not a complete casual. No, I don't think he's a casual. And I've said this before. Let me give you an example. I know Max Kellerman never fought. And Max Kellerman is very, very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. But why? Because he's been around boxing for all these years. He's been around boxing people. He's been around fighters. So the same thing with Showbiz. He's already been around a lot of fighters, been around a lot of people. So he's acquiring a lot of knowledge about the sweet science. Can't fuck with me though. Can't fuck with me. Maybe he could he Showbiz the entertainer. He nice with it. With the entertainment stuff. Can't fuck with me. Just can't do it. Ryan Bascom, Thurman is still dangerous right now. He doesn't have the knockout power since Danny Swift broke his arm, but he still got the legs and IQ. Yeah, Fundora has come along. He rearranges his face with the jab. Bro, that jab is deadly. That jab is different. Ever since Sebastian Fundora started being consistent with that jab, yo, he looks unbeatable out there. He looks like a guy that can't be beat. Look at his last fight and look at the previous ones. He looked like he just can't be beat. Now, as far as Keith Thurman, he didn't lose that power, Ryan. He said it himself. You know what happened with Keith Thurman? He started trying to box more. Box more, get hit less, and be more cautious. And what did he say after he knocked out his opponent, his last fight, the kid from Australia? He said, that's it. I'm going to go back to the old Keith Thurman. I'm going to go back to chasing the knockout. That's it. I'm not going to do this. I'm boxing you. I'm outscoring you. I'm going for the knockout. And if he fights Sebastian Fundora like it was supposed to happen, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a competitive fight. Keith Thurman not going there to lose. He's not going there to look like a goofball. He's going there to win. Side, I wish we saw Fundora versus Bud. I saw the comment. I didn't read it. There we go. Side, Fundora ducked Bud. It's true. Sebastian Fundora ducked Terrence Crawford at 154. He could have made that fight. He could have had that fight. Chose not to. And you know what's funny about that fight? That Errol Spence was hating on Crawford. Because if you recall, Crawford was going to fight Fundora, and then they announced that Fundora was going to fight Errol Spence. They only said Fundora was going to fight Errol so that he don't have to fight Bud. Then Bud moved on to fight somebody else, and he never fought Errol. So all they wanted to do was make sure that Fundora don't step in the ring with Crawford. And to be honest, that was a smart move. Why would you want Fundora to fight Crawford and take that nasty L? If I was Fundora's management team, I wouldn't have let that fight happen. Why would I let my guy fight that monster? Terrence Crawford's a monster. Yo, look. Here's the best word for me to describe Terrence Crawford inside the ring. He's a bully. Crawford is a bully in the ring. You don't want to get your fighter in there with a bully that's going to beat him up. Beat him up. No need. Don't do that to Fundora. He's on the up and up. So I understood why they didn't want to make that fight. I get it. I wouldn't have made that fight either. Wes Dustin, Errol tried to steal that fight. I mean, but how did he try to steal that fight when they even announced Errol versus Fundora and that never happened? In fact, I remember Errol himself said, I'm not fighting Fundora. Ha, ha, ha. I remember there was a post that said Spence versus Fundora, like a poster. And Errol Spence commented, ha, ha, ha. Coming back when I'm ready. So I don't even know if Errol was on board with that fight. Seems like maybe he may have been on board with blocking Crawford so Crawford can't get it. But it don't look like he was going to fight. Think about it. Errol been out of the ring for over 2 years at this point. Shakur hands. EJ being in the ring was a decoy. There you have it. The lunatic librarian. Errol got in the ring. Then we heard nothing of it. Bro, at some point, the PBC even made posters about Sebastian and Errol. They even have posters that they posted. And I remember even Crawford was like, oh, okay, they doing me dirty. I'm supposed to be the WBO mandatory. They bringing in Errol after I whooped his ass at 147. That's why Crawford ended up moving on to Madrimov. It was supposed to be Sebastian Fundora. Ryan Bascom, he is a bully. And he had beaten Fundora handily. Good for Fundora on that, of course. That was a good move. Fundora's team choosing not to fight Crawford, that was a very smart move. Side, it was another PBC ploy to block Bud like they did for most of his welterweight campaign. Of course, the PBC done everything to block Crawford from his greatness. Everything. Matter of fact, this is when I realized. You see, I realized the PBC has something against Crawford very, very early on when people didn't want to see it. Remember, the human algorithm, Jay Stradamus, there's a reason for that. Y'all remember when it was, I don't remember what event it was, to be honest, or what fight. But there was a fight when the PBC posted an image of all the welterweight champions. And they posted an image of Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and Danny Garcia, the welterweight champions. And they left Terrence Crawford out. They really try to act like the WBO champion, Terrence Crawford, wasn't even a champion. They try to delegitimize his title. They try to downplay him. On a live broadcast to all the people watching, they were like, here are the champions in the welterweight division. Bang! And they put the pictures up and they left Terrence Crawford out. And ever since then, I knew, oh shit, man, these people, they not gonna fuck with Crawford. They not gonna let him become a world champion. They're not gonna let him fight any of their guys. That's why he didn't get a shot at Danny Garcia when Danny had that belt. He didn't get a shot at Sean Porter up until Sean Porter had already lost his title. He didn't get a shot at Keith Thurman when Keith Thurman was a world champion. So it was Terrence Crawford and 3 champions over at PBC. He didn't get to fight any of them. Instead, they allowed Errol Spence to unify all 3 of the belts. And what Terrence Crawford do? Went and gave him the beating of a lifetime. Because that's the one thing about Crawford, man. People don't like giving him credit for the things he's done. I want you guys to think about this. Errol Spence was an undefeated 3-belt unified champion. And Terrence Crawford gave him the beating of a lifetime before stopping him. When is the last time, my peoples? Keep it 100. Keep it 100 now. When is the last time that you saw a unified champion take the type of beating that Errol Spence took? Let me rephrase that. An undefeated unified champion. When's the last time you saw a guy with those accomplishments, with those credentials, take that type of beating like Errol Spence took? That's probably the worst beating we've seen of a champion in over 20 years, my peoples. I've been following boxing a very long time. I'm 47 years old. I've been following boxing for over 30 years at this point. My first fight was Julio Cesar Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor, the first one. I was 11 years old, my peoples. Since then, I can't think of an ass whooping like the one Terrence Crawford gave Errol Spence. There's been a lot of ass whoopings, but a unified, undefeated world champion get the ass beat like that? You tell me when you seen it. Ryan Bascom, Danny Swift wanted Crawford. 2, would have been ugly beating. And I'm a big Danny Swift fan. Nah, Danny did not want Crawford. Trust me, he didn't want that. And you know what's the proof that he didn't want Crawford? He wanted 10 million. 10 million is the magical number that fighters ask for when they don't want to fight. Look at Kid Austin Pops. He said they want Abdullah Mason. They want 10 million. That's it. You know they don't want Abdullah Mason. When a fighter say they want 10 million, they might as well say we don't want to fight because they know they're not going to get 10 million. Keith, Danny, both of them wanted 10 million to fight Bud. You don't want to fight. They don't want to fight Crawford. Danny knows how that was going to play out. And that's my guy. I got mad love for Danny Garcia. He didn't want that smoke. Nothing about him told me that he wanted that smoke with Crawford. I think deep down inside he know that. He know he didn't want Crawford. Side, last was probably Wilfredo Gomez versus Salvador Sanchez. Whoa. Look how far back you went. Damn, Salvador Sanchez, man. Every time his name get pulled up, man, I feel that pain in my heart that this dude, so young, so talented, so accomplished, didn't even give us all he could have, man. Went out early. JJ's in their house. Mad haters, Jay Smith. They're trying to wipe out Crawford's name. Imagine that. How do you name all of the champions in the division and you leave Terrence Crawford out? You try to delegitimize his championship, his title. Ryan, it was like Sugar Ray Robertson versus Jake LaMotta. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre. But you see how far we got to go back to talk about these beatings of great champions because it's not common. It doesn't happen often. Champions lose, but not like that, bro. Not like Errol got beat. It just doesn't happen every day. J-Jack, worst beating I've ever seen. Spence was so bad when I hear talk of Spence in the ring, it upsets me. Bro, that's the type of beating that you just... I'm going to put it to you like this. Since then, we ain't seen a beating like that. We seen beating. We seen Tim Tszyu get beat up by Bakram Mortasaliev. But after that, Tim Tszyu came back already. Tim Tszyu won fights. Terrence Crawford beat the shit out of Errol Spence in such a way that it's been 2 years and we ain't seen Errol since. It was such a nasty beating that it took like 7-8 months before we saw Errol face on camera. We will see images of Errol from far away, like, nah, look at Errol's over there, he's doing good. Errol didn't even do interviews, nothing. Ryan, I forgot Danny Swift asked for 10 mil. That's pricing yourself out. Of course, he didn't want to do that fight. He didn't want to fight. Every time they asked, if you look for interviews, every time they asked Danny about Crawford, he would always kind of sidetrack and use duck language. Oh, you know, if the money's right, but Bob Arum got to come right with the money. And Danny Garcia would say everything but I want to fight Crawford. Never said I want to fight Crawford in his whole life because he didn't want to. Ryan Basco, Wilfredo Gomez actually gave Sanchez a fight. Even wobbled him once. You're right. Had to go back to the 50s to find a beating like that. Terrence Crawford gave Errol Spence a historical beating that we just not used to seeing. I mean, we've seen champions, you know, get a tune-up and get a cherry pick and beat the shit out of them. We've seen that. We saw Brian Norman Jr. pulverize Jin Sasaki. But who the fuck is Jin Sasaki? Who here can say, yeah, I've been following Jin Sasaki. He nice like that. Jin Sasaki never even fought for a world title. So we've seen average Joes get pulverized. But a unified world champion, undefeated, take the beating of a lifetime? You don't see that every day, bro. Daniel Negron, is Spence even going to fight again? We don't know. We don't know if he's going to fight again. He says he will when he's ready, but we don't know. West doesn't. Shakur beat Jamel Herring bad as hell. That was a beating, too. I'm not going to say it was as bad as Crawford the Arrow, but Shakur dished out a nasty beating of Jamel Herring. That was just merciless. The ref had to step in, beating the shit out of him. But West Dustin, if you notice, that never get brought up because it doesn't match the narrative that people want to have for Shakur Stevenson. Since they want to say that he's a runner and that he's boring and that he don't got no power, they never want to talk about what he did to Jamel Herring. What about what he did to Oscar Valdez? Put all type of hands on him. Made an undefeated champion look like a Burger King second shift supervisor. Boxing part-time. An undefeated champion. So Shakur has put hands on people. Nasty hands. But you don't get credit for it because there's already a hate narrative that's built up against him. Ryan, yeah, you're right. He never said he wanted to fight Crawford. I've seen that with rose-colored glasses, bro. I try to tell people, you'll see Danny Garcia saying, well, you know, if the money's right, if they pay me, yeah, the money got to be right. That's all he ever said about Crawford. But you will never find a video where Danny Garcia saying, I want to fight Crawford. I'm calling Crawford out. Give me Bud. You ain't never going to see it. You ain't never going to see it from Danny. You ain't never going to see it from Keith. You ain't going to see it from none of the PBC fighters that was there when he was at 147 campaigning. None of them wanted to fight him. After Crawford became the most accomplished fighter, one of the most accomplished in the game, after he whooped the face of boxing, shit was embarrassing to now see Keith Thurman. I want to fight Crawford. I want you, Crawford. Oh, now you want a payday. You want payday. You want payday. Charlo, it would be an honor to get in there with Bud. He beat Canelo. It would be my honor. Oh, you want payday. Payday. Then everybody wanted the payday now. No, you can't get no fucking payday. Should have fought me when you had a belt. When I was calling you out. Ryan, it was Shakur beat Padley like that as well. Even if Padley had only 2 days notice. You're right. I found several videos where he said if the money's right, my G. The human algorithm, I be following up on the shit they be saying. And it's like I told you. Right now, if anybody could find me just one video of Danny Garcia saying, I want Crawford, give me Bud. One video. You could put your account number. I'm wiring you $500 right now. Send a link where Danny Garcia is calling out to fight Crawford, and I'm wiring you $500 right now. Right now, I'll wire you that $500. All you got to do is shoot the link where Danny Garcia is saying, I want to fight Crawford. Do that, and you got $500. TJ, all these boxers are afraid. Same thing with the promoters. That's why UFC is better with super fights. It's the best versus the best. Come on, you bringing up UFC, bro, in a boxing channel? Shakur Hands, he was busy. When he was beating up EJ, Mel was too busy. Now it would be an honor. Remember that? Go hang down there. You can't hang with the big boys. It would be an honor to fight Crawford. No. You want payday. You can't get that. Alphon. Jack. That time Fundora rejected Bud. I knew he was the boogeyman. And Fundora could have got that fight with Terrence Crawford moving up to 154. Right as he's coming from 147. You could have been Crawford's debut at 154. So at least you would have had a little bit of an edge, like he not acclimated. He's moving up. At least we got that. The physical aspect, we're going to have him on that. And they didn't take it. They didn't take it. Ryan Bascom, already done. Can't find one. I'm not going to be able to sell you that 500, bro. There you have it. But then again, you don't need it, my G. You making money. We're not out here to make money. We out here to enjoy the sweet science. My people, hit that like button, man. We going on 2 hours of boxing for breakfast. Not even 30 likes. I should have been like at 100 likes by now. Wes does it. You need to take that arrow. You need to take what arrow give you and sit down. Goofball Charlo. But look, my peoples, we got to be honest. A lot of the PBC fighters who try to play Terrence Crawford, karma got the best of them. Because they always try to talk about how they make more money, how Crawford ain't nobody, how they put more butts in seats. And now they had to watch Crawford step in the ring against Canelo Alvarez, make $100 million plus, become the face of boxing, and leave on top of their game. Terrence Crawford done make more money than all of those guys who used to be talking shit about him. That's the way the cookie crumbles. With his fight with Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Crawford made more money than both Charlos made in their whole career. That one fight, he made more money than Danny made in his whole career. More money than Keith made in his whole career. What now? Y'all try to shit on him because you make more money. And you're on Showtime. And look at the way the whole thing played out. Why? Because greatness is not about who's making more money. Greatness is not about who's more popular. Greatness is about who's the best inside the ring. And if you keep proving that you're the best inside the ring, eventually the money's going to follow. And that's what happened with Terrence Crawford. He kept proving it over. And here's the beauty about Terrence Crawford's career that a lot of people just don't understand. And I want you guys to think about that. And that's where you see greatness. When Terrence Crawford was at 154, at 147, he couldn't get none of those big fights, right? And they shitted on him. He not a big star. He don't make money like we make money. I remember even Tank Davis was like, yo, Terrence Crawford ain't got no money. Trust me, he ain't making no money. Tank Davis was shitting on him about how he don't make no money. Well, guess what? Terrence Crawford made more money against Canelo Alvarez than Tank ever did in any fight in his whole career. Tank Davis never made the type of money that Terrence Crawford made. Right now, Terrence Crawford got more money than Tank Davis. So again, don't shit on somebody because you think you're making more money than them. Don't underestimate somebody because today you're making more money than them. Because Terrence Crawford's greatness was going to lead to the big money. Boxing has always been that way. Social media fans made it to where we separate greatness from money. Now, it's like with Tank. People will say, like, he don't got to fight the best. He making the most money. He's putting the most butts in seats. He's selling the most pay-per-views. So now, all of a sudden, you separated greatness from money. He don't got to fight the best because he's making the most money. But I'm going to give you guys a quick recap. I want you to consider this. Who was the previous face of boxing before Canelo Alvarez? Floyd Mayweather. Who was the previous face of boxing before Floyd Mayweather? Oscar De La Hoya. Who was the previous face of boxing before Oscar De La Hoya? At that point, we could debate. It was Mike Tyson. It was the heavyweights. Oscar De La Hoya was the first guy lower than the heavyweights to start making all the millions of dollars. More faces of boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard. More faces of boxing. Muhammad Ali. More faces of boxing. Think about the great fighters throughout the history of boxing. And what you'll find is that the face of boxing has always been the most accomplished fighters. The guys who've been beating the best. Julio Cesar Chavez, how could I skip him? The faces of the sport have always been the most accomplished. So why now we trying to separate accomplishments and money? Floyd used to make the most money. De La Hoya used to make the most money. Chavez used to make the most money. Ali used to make the most money. Sugar Ray Leonard used to make the most money. Tommy Hearns used to make the most money. Evander Holyfield used to make the most money. The greatest fighters have always made the most money. Now you motherfuckers want people who not the best to make the most money because they popular. Get the fuck out of here, man. Come on, man. So what happened with Terrence Crawford is the inevitable. It's the inevitable that he was going to end up making more money than all the people who try to shit on him. Alphon, you said Backram and Josh, who better? Honestly, I haven't made that prediction. I haven't been able to make it because I think it's going to be more competitive than what people say. I see Josh Kelly. I seen him in his last fight. He showed me stuff that I didn't even know he had, bro. I know that he can trade. I know that he can win exchanges on the inside. So I'm not ready to just say Backram is going to wash him. This is going to be a good fight. I said I was going to make my prediction today, but I'm still not ready. There's still a few more things that I got to see. Because like I told you before, my peoples, these predictions, I don't take it lightly. I don't predict shit to be wrong. I don't just say shit to say it. All 2025, on the money with all them championship fights. And 2026, I'm not planning to miss either. I'm planning. Jay Stradamus is going to be 100% accurate on these predictions. So, hold on. I'm going to make that prediction, but I think it's a more competitive fight than people think, than people say. Ryan, Crawford is with Sam Langford and Harry Greb, Henry Armstrong, Gene Toney, Sugar Ray Robinson. The guy jumped up 3 weight classes to fight the most dominant super middleweight since Roy Jones Jr. And they still didn't give him Fighter of the Year. They didn't give it to him. I know them bitch-ass niggas wasn't going to give it to him. I know they mad that he retired and he didn't do what they want him to do. But I challenge anybody in here to tell me in the last the last 30 years, that's gonna cover Floyd's career too. In the last 30 years, tell me a more significant win than Terrence Crawford jumping up multiple divisions and beating Canelo Alvarez. I challenge anybody to tell me what's a bigger and more important win. Ryan, you right, bro. Crawford is a throwback fighter. Clarity, Whistler. He was a low level. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm not sure who you're talking about or who was a low level. Wes does it. I still got Keyshawn fight at 50-50. Look. I think this kid is good, Jermaine Ortiz. I think he's good. I think he's a good fighter. But right now, he hasn't shown me that he can go to that next level. You know why? Because what I've seen from him is that he's good enough to hang in there with the big boys. But he hasn't shown me that he's good enough to ascend and be better and beat them. You gotta, let me give you an example. Look at Abdullah Mason when he fought Sam Noakes. Sam Noakes turned out to be the toughest fighter he ever faced. And what happened when Sam Noakes raised the bar for Abdullah? Abdullah raised it and went to a level that he never been on. He had to do what he never done. Had to be better than he ever been to win that fight. Jermaine Ortiz didn't do that with Teofimo. He didn't do that with Lomachenko. He did enough to be good, to be competitive. But he didn't raise it up more to beat them. So that's what I see in Jermaine Ortiz. There's a difference between very good fighters and great fighters. Jermaine Ortiz showed me that he's a very good fighter. But great fighters, when that fight comes, they ascend. They go up and do more than they ever done. I still haven't seen that from Jermaine Ortiz. He could be good, he could be competitive, but he's not going to raise the bar. I haven't seen it. Ryan, yes, sir. They robbed Crawford of Fighter of the Year. That's nasty work. Nasty work. Biggest win in this era. Biggest win that most of us never seen a win that big in person. Like wins that big happened before when we was little kids, when we wasn't born. But since we watching boxing, we never seen nobody do no shit like that, bro. That's a generational win. Ryan, Jermaine Ortiz just lacks the power to compete with guys like Keyshawn Davis. And I think there's something else that he lacks. Not just the power. Because without power, you can beat great fighters. But he lacks that championship pedigree, that championship spirit, that championship. It's a mindset that he's lacking. He ain't got it. When he fought Teofimo Lopez, and that fight was close, it was competitive, and them championship rounds is where he should have shown us that I'm him. He didn't. He didn't do it. The same thing with Lomachenko. That's why I brought up Abdullah Mason. What Abdullah do with the toughest opponent he ever faced in the championship rounds? Beat the shit out of him. Beat the shit out of Sam Noakes. That's what you're supposed to do. When you have that pedigree, when you have that different mindset, that's what you do. Jermaine Ortiz has not shown me that yet. I don't know if he might show it, but I haven't seen that from him. He fought the championship rounds like he was happy to be there, like he was happy to do good, like he was happy to not get beat up. That's not the mindset of a champion. It's not it. J.P. Douglas, Shakur finna whoop Tio and show he the guy. I mean, me and you already know he the guy. He got to show them. The people who just can't accept it, he's going to show them that he the guy. We already knew that. We know that going into the fight. Alphon, the purse bid for Hamza Shiraz versus Billy has been canceled for Canelo return. To me, this means the WBC just didn't want Bud to be undisputed. Come on, my guy. Come on, my guy. They didn't want Terrence Mauricio, the goofball Sulaiman. It's the reason why Terrence Crawford is retired. That's why I can't stand that dummy. They want nobody else but Canelo Alvarez to hold that WBC strap. Why? Because Canelo's happy to dish out whatever fee they want. He happy to give them all that type of money that they want. That's all they want. We all wanted to see Billy versus Hamza Shiraz. That's a heck of a fight. But ultimately, Mauricio, the goofball Sulaiman, his only objective is to get that title back to Canelo. You see, just like a lot of people, Mauricio, the dummy Sulaiman, thought that Canelo Alvarez was going to knock Terrence Crawford out. I love the way that he framed it. We gave Crawford an opportunity. You didn't give him an opportunity. You thought Canelo was going to fuck him up. That's what you thought was going to happen. And when he beat the shit out of the face of boxing, when he beat the shit out of your guy that's always giving you them hefty sanctioning fees, that made you mad. And that made you want to take it from him and give it right back to Canelo. If it was up to Sulaiman, he would right now just say, listen, we're announcing Canelo the champion because he just behaves like a champion. Give him the belt. He wish he could do that. Not even make him fight for it. Bitch-ass motherfucker. But I digress, my peoples. That motherfucker make me mad. There you go right there. That's the fight that was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Mbili versus Shiraz for the WBC belt. Mauricio, the dummy goofball Sulaiman, decided, nah, we do whatever we want over here. We accommodate Canelo however we want to. That's why the WBC is a fucking trinket to me. Give a fuck about that belt. I care about the fighters and whoever fighting. And you know, if they earn their spot or if they win a title, I respect them. But the WBC, man, Mauricio Sulaiman is a piece of shit. That's what he is. Somebody tag that motherfucker in one of my emails so he know how I feel about him in one of my videos. Wes does it. Whatever happened to the franchise belt? I don't know. Ask that dumb motherfucker. Ask Mauricio the dummy Sulaiman what he want to do with that shit. I don't even think that shit exists anymore. I don't know what else he could come up with to accommodate Canelo's career. Motherfucker. My peoples, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in to this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Let me change this screen, though. Let me change this background, because just thinking about that dummy make me mad. And I don't want to be mad. We enjoying the sweet science. My bad, y'all. I don't want to get emotional. I don't like to get emotional. It's just that the way they did it to Crawford, man, that shit really get me going, bro. That shit, I don't even want to think about it. Andy Cruz, my peoples, is going to be fighting on Saturday. Raymond Murataya, that's going to be a heck of a fight. It's going to be very entertaining. We're going to see fireworks. It is going to be competitive. But the magic question is going to be, will Andy Cruz run the 135 division? Is it going to be his? Well, on Saturday, we will find out. Is Raymond Murataya just an opponent for Andy Cruz? Or is Murataya going to pull off the upset? Can we see Raymond Murataya pull off the upset? And of course, there's a possibility that we might get Lamar Roach versus Kid Austin. Great fight. If it happens, I'm on board. I love that fight. I hope they can make it happen. My peoples, I'm about to end the show, though. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. I know towards the end of this show, I got a little bit emotional with Mauricio, the dummy Sulaiman. Bitch-ass nigga. But I hope you guys enjoy the show. I enjoy the show. Boxing for Breakfast will go down at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning. Salute to everybody who tuned in. Just Business, Alphon, Ryan Bascom, Daniel Negron, Wes Dussett, Shakur Hands, JJ Zendejas, JP Douglas. Who else was in the building? Clarity Whistler. What's up in here saying some shit that I don't even know what the fuck this motherfucker was saying. Before getting out of here, let me block this goofball, man. Look at this. My last move before leaving the show is blocking some dummy that says some shit I don't even know what he talking about. Boom. That's how I'm leaving the show, my people. Blocking a dummy. One love to everybody who tuned in. Y'all already know what it is, man. Jay Smith signing off. Appreciate everybody who hit that like button. Appreciate everybody who was ghost watching. At least you decided to tune in. You goofballs. I'm out of here, y'all. One love. Yeah.